versus Harstem. To the bottom left-hand side, our red Terran player. This is Team Liquid uThermal. And he is going up against the blue Protoss to the top right-hand side from Asterion Esports, Harstem. Okay then guys, how's everyone doing? I'd love to remind you guys though, just as we get into game number 1 of this next series, that our sponsor for this tournament is Sneak Energy. !Sneak in the chat will give you a link to the Sneak site, and if you go through my affiliate link or if you use the coupon code WARDI10, you can get a 10% discount on any purchase you make. Sneak is a energy drink formula designed for gamers to help you stay hydrated, focused, and energized throughout your gaming sessions, so that you can go wild and play StarCraft all night long, or you can cast all day long like we do sometimes. Either way, it's pretty good. I saw Corvin, one in the chat earlier, someone that bought some Sneak, says, dude, thank you for introducing me to Sneak. Me and my wife love it at the moment, or words to that effect. I'm paraphrasing because he said this quite a while ago, but I did read it. And that's awesome to hear, man. So if you have any questions, I'm very happy to answer them in general, guys, specifically through the breaks, etc. But do check it out, !Sneak in the chat. Wardy, are they still sending a shaker? I believe so. I believe if you buy it right now, you still get a shaker with it. Don't quote me on that, but I feel like you still do because I got one in my most recent package. So, I think so. What's up, New Rudin? Comes in with the Cheer 50, says, go Harstem, crush the cheeser. We'll see how aggressive uThermal is going to be in this series as we get this set up and rolling. Factory coming down from uThermal beyond the Reaper expansion. And the Reaper, of course, about to pop out as well. This probe, though, I guess this probe's just looking for the proxies. He knows kind of, uThermal likes to be a bit cheeky now and then, so just keeping an eye out to see what he can, if he can see what is going on. Just looking to see what he can perhaps spot here in the next few moments. And Brixton showing up for the 6-month resub. Thank you so much for the 6 months. Saying, go uThermal, crush the cheeser. Wait, is everyone just a cheeser now? Aye. Alright, well we do see Reaper coming forwards and have a little bit of a look to see what's going on. At Wardy, what does stealth taste like on the Sneak? The stealth Sneak, I haven't tried it, but I've been told it kind of tastes like a sour candy sort of thing. I don't know how to kind of describe it myself, but I think it's like kind of sour candy or like sour apple. I'm not really sure because I've not been able to try that one myself. It's meant to be like a secretive flavor, but that's how I've heard others describe it as. There or thereabouts. My personal preference is the blue raspberry. It's awesome. I'm sure the cherry bomb one is pretty good as well. We do see a couple of Hellions poking their way through this Adept as we see, obviously, the Adept coming across the map here, and the 2 Hellions actually get that Adept very low, albeit the Hellions taking some hits themselves. They can go and get repaired. A couple of Cyclones on the way up now as well. Means that we don't see the couple of, the starport just yet. You need to lay the starport with this to kind of really get the Cyclones up, allow you to maybe even create some pressure if you do want to push forwards in the near future. We'll see just how uThermal deals with this, or how he executes. He might even go into another couple. Okay, he's going to add the starport in a tech lab. That will take up some of his gas, which was needed as we do see the Oracle coming in. Well, he's got the Cyclones nearby, so he can come in with these and shut that Oracle down nice and easily. So, Oracle getting pushed away up the left-hand side, and meanwhile we do see these couple of gateways coming down in the main base. And we do have the Warp Gate is about to finish up as well. Starport still coming through, and that's actually been, there's been room made for it on the tech lab here, which means we might just see a Raven popping out in the next couple of moments. Wouldn't that be interesting? I think it really would be, honestly. I think it really would be. Command Center continue to build up on the natural. This time is going to be the 3rd base for uThermal, which can obviously move out into location whenever needed, as we do see the 3rd base. The Protoss is actually not that far in front of the 3rd base of the town, so nice quick 3 bases. uThermal with the Raven on the way out, another couple Hellions. And while this is very gas intensive right now, I'd be very surprised if you went through and kind of followed in with a couple more factories. But it's uThermal. Never kind of doubt, I suppose, what he could come up with next. But yeah, in general here, expect him to probably just go for this very kind of, tech-heavy opening while taking the faster free base. It means that with the faster free base, you don't have to apply as much pressure with bio. Wow, he's actually going to make double army. He's actually going to play mech. But I don't know what to tell you guys. This is the exact opposite of what I thought. This is exactly what I just called. I didn't think was going to happen. And yet here it is. So, kicking off, we have a couple of armories coming down, and we have this Oracle already from Harstem is actually backing away up towards the upper right-hand side. Forge and a Twilight Council coming through here. So, uThermal with some mech play. I mean, let's see what it does. Let's see what he can do with this right now. Let's see if Harstem has an answer. Honestly, one of the best answers I've seen for mech is just to rush in towards the Stargate play, rush to carriers. Mech doesn't really have a reliable... Just because mech's so slow, you can't really pressure before carriers in that case. And then there's no real way to beat carriers in a later stage scenario either, I feel like, a lot of the time. It's very difficult to, at least. Well, let's see how this goes. A couple of factories coming up, 1-1 vehicle weapons. Right now, Harstem, he's kind of approaching this with a very sort of... Well, I mean, he saw that factory building, right? So, unless he's seen here and then there, I think he's seen this factory building. I'm pretty sure it's the factory he saw, so... I think Harstem knows that this is mech. I guess we'll see how he tries to deal with this. Obviously, he has the ability to go in towards Immortal production. He has the ability to go into Archon soon. And with Charged Immortal Archon already, that's pretty good at dealing with a mech army. We're going to be seeing a couple of fours now on the way out. So uThermal really setting up into this here. No upgrades just yet off the tech lab on the factory. Infernal Pre-Ignite is something we've got to be watching out for. I think that Spot Service upgrade could definitely help out too, although not maybe essential enough to kind of spend resources on just yet. Now we're going to be seeing the Hellions going forward. So then he gets some damage done. The Oracle being kept low on energy because it keeps popping its energy or popping its pulsar beam, try and chase units away, but then obviously they just back away, and Hellions are quite fast, so pulsar beam doesn't kill anything, and it just takes up quite a bit of energy, which is a little bit of a shame. You see a couple fours still on the way out. This is hell just being kited. It will go down again. In fairness, you know, uThermal has quite a lot of map control. Looks like he's coming over to the top left to clean out this watchtower as well now. Phoenix down to the south side. We are going to be seeing a lot of High Templars starting to warp in, so that's going to be the Archons coming through here in the next few moments. So Archons start to morph in. We just see a couple of Stalkers coming all the way over to the left-hand side, but we'll need to push the Hellions back, which did kill another couple of Zealots on the watchtower. As that Infernal Pre-Ignited, so the upgrade for the Hellions makes them so much better against what is likely to be the Zealot kind of tanky force in the kind of front line. A couple more Zealots on the way out, and Immortal coming through here from Harstem as well. Plus one attack on the Forge. Another Revelation drops, this time just keeping track of where those Hellions are going. Obviously, Hellions are the sort of units that can sneak around, they can dive mineral lines, and, you know, by having a Revelation on them, you're not going to allow them to hit a mineral line without you knowing about it, especially when they've been so good at cleaning up the watchtower control for a long time already. Well, he sees the Archons, and that is going to be a reason to back away. Now, kite these Archons a little bit, actually getting a couple of shots off. It's not a massive amount of damage, but it's, you know, more than nothing, right? So there you go. We're going to see a couple of tanks sieging up on the high ground. Revelation comes down again. Harstem is warping in aggressively. He looks as though he wants to keep going into this and just kind of pressure while he goes up into the fleet beacon and his extra Stargate, ready for that air switch, which we talked about a little bit. That Raven built early in this game here from uThermal, available to maybe come in and push back this army. I mean, it's going to add so much utility to the army of uThermal. It's really going to be something to watch out for. Another few Zards, another Archon ready to go. Actually, he's going to keep these High Templar for Storm, it seems. And I like this, though. This was just a pressure play by Harstem. He never committed in. He just kind of, you know, made it look as though he might attack in. So we are going to see those couple of Zards and the Archons going forward. We are going to have the Hellions being pushed back just a little bit. So, that is being pushed back just a little bit. We're going to have the CC about to finish up, meaning that uThermal will get to 4 bases and 8 gases for his mech play. Still, the Hellions just keep track of this army. I mean, this is amazing. Even if they don't do that much damage, just knowing where the army is fantastic news for you as the Terran player, because now you know where to prepare for. Now you know where to set up that mech defense to deflect and defend wherever you need to. The Hellions caught behind this mineral line here. A couple of probes do go down. We are going to be seeing the Tempest is on the way up in the main base. So that's about to pop out, and as that pops out, we have those Archons still just gathering together on this 4th. I mean, Harstem goes straight up to 5th base too. So he keeps on expanding. There's the rapid fire launches. That increases the Cyclone air attack or anti-air attack to kind of deal much more damage right from the get-go. and that upgrade will really allow him to fight a lot better against the Tempest, the Carriers, etc. If that's what if he really wants to kind of rely on Cyclones here to deal with those. Well, a couple of Zealots taking some more hits. This time we're going to be seeing the Cyclones lock on. Doesn't have the upgrade yet, but a lot of Cyclones will get rid of one Phoenix, no problem at all. We're going to be seeing another couple of Vikings on the way out. More and more Cyclones rolling through, as you have those Hellions still just trying to get into a little bit of the action in the middle. I mean, they're trading out fairly well with the Zealots. I mean, the Liberator see jumped out as well. He's actually going to take a fight against some of these Archons. Doesn't get any kills, sure, but he does put himself in a pretty... Yeah, I mean, it kind of forces a reaction, I feel, out of Harstem, where he's absolutely, he's like, oh, well, I kind of have to back away here. And actually gets rid of that War Prism. A couple of Zealots go down very easily. And that Prism not able to do anything at all. uThermal continue to push in. Now, he's pushing just before the air army really gets up to size. This is a very weak air army, and that's a couple of anti-armor missiles to get started. The Hellions getting stormed, but dealing some damage as well. Those Archons with anti-armor missiles on them, and they take a beating, but so does that Terran army sitting in the storms. The Tempest count is low at the moment, remember, so it isn't amazing. It's not impossible to deal with. And the Cyclones now have their anti-armor missile. Their lock-ons just extended that little bit, so he gets that Tempest very low there right away. Well, you can see those Vikings still trying to see what they can do, but the Tempest pick one of them off. And we see uThermal at the front here. Ooh, well, I mean, here we go. The push in from Harstem. There's more tanks behind the initial wave of tanks here. It's the Tempest, I think, which is the biggest issue, right? Because how are you ever going to deal with the Tempest? If your Cyclones go down to the ground army, uThermal, he doesn't have the Hellions in the front anymore to protect the rest of these units. He will keep some of the Cyclones alive, and that's massively important if he wants to be able to fight against those Tempests at any stage of this. Cuts the corner of one of those Cyclones to try and get away from those Zealots. It's just Hellions, Cyclones, and Vikings on the production tab right now. As he turns to fight, he actually shreds an Archon. Gets disintegrated there. It feels like a Stalker going down as well. A couple of Vikings continue to push in. The Tempest is taking some damage too. And still pushing forwards. Hellions and Cyclones. Ooh, we actually can see the Lock-ons get rid of the Tempest. Cyclones are going in right now. This is where the Hellions come into play as the Zealots run forwards. The Hellions are a necessity in this fight. Harstem's only building one Tempest at a time. It really feels like very slow Tempest production. He's not really getting up to kind of a scary number. Continue to push forwards here. The Hellions are still doing a lot. And he just doesn't want to push into that, it seems. Not just yet. uThermal banks away. Harstem defends for now. And 13 minutes into this game, number one. The mech play of uThermal will continue, but it definitely feels as though Harstem is getting that dream composition up to truly deal with this once and for all. A bit of production from uThermal sat in the main. I'll just dive into a mineral line again. Only a couple of probes. Fast response from Harstem. Able to pull away nice and quickly, minimize the damage taken. Again, just scans around. One of the dangerous things for Harstem is how much damage these Cyclones will do to a base. Nexus will just disappear if these Cyclones are able to kind of start attacking them. They do so much damage with these upgrades later in the game. Obviously, that scales a lot when you get armor upgrades for your own army. But obviously the Nexus doesn't have upgrades. Protoss doesn't have building plating or whatever upgrade the Terran has to upgrade the build and armor. And that means these Nexus will melt against the Cyclones if you're out of position just for a couple of seconds. uThermal drops a scan and going forward he will find himself a Stalker kill. He actually sees those Zealots at the moment. High Templar, one of the big things that kind of dealt a lot of damage in the first fight we saw with this fully fledged mech army. There's the Cyclones, you can see it right there. Shield, +1 shields goes down instantly. The cannons that were in front go down too. Turns and fights this Archon, which actually is mostly shields right now, so it doesn't really benefit from the armor. Now that we've seen the Archon is just continuing to be kind of pushed away at the moment, or pushing away. But this is where the Hellions go up to the top side. More Cyclones, a few Vikings, and this is where Harstem is suddenly in some trouble. He doesn't actually have an army at home to defend this base, but obviously maybe uThermal doesn't have an army to defend this base. If he's got some tanks, he's got a Sim City, he can play this position. I think that's the big difference. He can play it and defend it in some aspects. Harstem's thinking about whether he really wants to commit into this right now. You can see those tanks dealing some good damage initially. The Zealots are just absolutely melting. The Sim City is huge, and uThermal does take down a base on the other side of the map. Scan coming down, keeping track of that army, as we are going to be seeing. I mean, this base of uThermal is still in trouble, but he's taken the entire upper side of the map in recent times. Probes are now going down. Zealots are warped into the fen, but what are Zealots going to do against Hellbats and Cyclones? I really don't feel like the answer is going to be enough. right now. I mean, there's still some storms available, and those storms are so deadly. It's the one thing stopping uThermal just diving in there and really using the power of that Cyclone lock-on. Here we go. I mean, those zealots just melt straight up, and uThermal taking a massive supply lead here, but Harstem still has money left over. He has money to rebuild with, and that's the difference right now. Oh my god, if those Hellbats have been able to target down the High Templar, that would have been amazing, as we're going to be seeing DTs warped in, and that is a pushback here. uThermal losing out. Harstem with money to rebuild. uThermal also with the ability to re-expand with the... in fact, he actually kept the orbital alive. Never mind, re-expand. He just puts his expansion back in place. Just needs to repair it. SCVs. No, don't let it die! Meanwhile, the fight breaks out again. Mothership will go down this time. Goodbye, Cloaking. A lot of these units are just still DTs, and honestly, DTs are not amazing right now on their own. More for them into Archons would do a lot more. Hellions are trying for the High Templar. Gets one of the high-energy High Templar. That's a good dive. That's a worthwhile pick-off. Harstem still with money, but struggling to spend it in time here. Morphing in even more DTs. Zealots are going to find the Cyclones. You need the Hellions to tank these Zealots. You cannot just sort of sit here and let the Cyclones take that much damage. Well, here we go. This is the awkward part where the the storms are going to start coming down. Because Vikings are also pretty useless right now as well, not really having anything to shoot at in the skies. A lot of Cyclones on the bottom right side of the map. They'll get the Nexus very quickly again. The probes are going to just disappear. Run, run, run away, but you will not get away. uThermal kills 24 workers, and he seems to have enough over here to keep on pushing back. The storms are still around, though, and they will do a lot if they can connect on the army. But a couple of tanks that were defending before, these tanks have been MVPs, and they come in huge once again. A couple of storms are landing, but it feels like it might not be enough with more units coming back on the other side. The High Templar go down, and suddenly uThermal has cleaned up everything bar a couple of Tempests mid-map and a handful of Zealots. Wow, that Sire Immortal got absolutely shredded there for the half a second it was in Cyclone range. More Cyclones coming up to the top side. Getting ready to push in through the top and in towards, I mean, the free base Protoss player now. Harstem does not have a bank to fall back on any longer. He does not have an income to fall back on any longer. And as we see our Protoss player continue to push to the left, you'll see the Planetary Force maybe in some trouble here, but honestly, even the Planetary Force just getting rid of a couple of DTs. It's trades which Harstem can't really afford right now. Cyclones get underneath the Tempest, and that's going to be goodbye Tempest, and Harstem knows this last attempt of an attack is going to not. Game number 2 of the series. And 2 of this best of 3. Exarchar in Porsche winning. I think I would like to win a bit. Then you must... I don't even know what these words mean. You must something be? I don't know what taken standard for means at all. Rip. Good luck, mate, says Harstem, and then good luck, have fun, says uThermal. As we kick off into game number 2 of this best of 3. Optimus, do some translating, please. I really can't translate at all. I'm not good enough, man. Or DJ. Can you get some translation in the chat, please, guys? It's just gibberish. Feels bad. Hey, guys, I heard it's Faith's birthday. I had a really good meme lined up, and then Harstem ruined my meme for Faith's birthday, so... Rip Faith, you can blame Harstem as well, mate. Success meat. Ay, ay, ay. Well, we are kicking off and waiting to see what the builds will be here on Catalyst. Honestly, another good mech map, but it's actually kind of funny because I feel, while this map's very good for mech against Zerg, I actually don't think this map's very good for mech against Protoss. Because this map doesn't have the ability to kind of dive around bases like you saw uThermal doing on Blackpink. This map's very good for sitting on 4 and 5 bases, which is exactly what the Protoss player wants to do as they build up into a bunch of, you know, a bunch of carriers and all the rest to defend. What's up, New Rudin coming in with the Cheer 15. Thank you very much for the 15 bits. Feels birthday, man. We got some birthdays in the chat. We got a party hat. Love it. Love it. Just getting into this, guys, and wait to see what will happen. If you're enjoying the stream so far today, do make sure you hit that follow button. Hit that follow button, see when we go live again in the future. And don't forget, you can, of course, support the stream further by subscribing, donating, and sharing, all of which helps us to continue running StarCraft 2 action for you all on a regular daily basis. But with that said, this game's about to get interesting because our Reaper's coming across the map, the Twilight Council is coming down. We do have this Adept here, which is already maybe on the hunt for Mr. Reaper. And Reaper gets the shot, Adept doesn't. How many times have we seen this today? Reaper getting a shot on an Adept. Reaper jumps into the main, met by a Stalker. Can't get out. Oh, he will get out because of the fact he can dive down this side. The Adept will give chase. I think the Reaper's too far ahead. The Adept isn't shading properly. And that is going to be this Reaper just about staying alive here. So, Reaper staying alive, and that's very nicely done as we do see a couple of Cyclones on the way up from uThermal. So far, the same build as what we saw in game number 1. As we're going to be seeing a couple of Hellions are dealing with this Adept, and with the Reaper coming in as well, I think it's the extra damage needed to get rid of it before Shade. That's a kill on the Adept to start this off. So Harstem not having much luck with keeping his first Adept alive right now, as we are going to see a starport follow up here from uThermal. And as he continues to build on up, we are going to be seeing a couple more mules dropping down in the natural expansion. And we're going to be seeing another couple of Cyclones from uThermal popping out as well. 2 Widow Mines currently on their way out too. And you just see these first few units coming out in towards the center of the map to see what's going on. What's up, Zombie Grub with the 20-month resub? And thank you very much for the 20 months. Give some love in the chat for ZG. Casting a Lima League earlier. Casting a drone, killing a hatchery. If you guys didn't see that clip on Reddit, you should. A drone spent like 5 minutes. Just one drone attacked the hatchery for 5 minutes and killed it. It was amazing. Probes get pulled in to defend against this right here. And, I mean, that's why you add the Hellions into this attack, because it allows the Cyclones to kind of keep on dealing damage without the probes becoming an issue. You know, obviously you can deal damage to the probes, but you'd much rather deal damage to the units. And now as the shield battery runs out, there's still units here. Uh-oh, this is not looking too good right now for Harstem. He's going to get more Warpins, though. I think if the second Cyclone targeted that pylon as well, it would have been amazing. Although that said, Widow Mines are going to zone the Stalkers out. There's no detection right now. A probe will come in and take the shot, but still that's an extra probe going down. Cyclones will start to back off here, use the Hellions to dive by. Oh man, uThermal's in the main base with Hellions. I don't know if there's an answer to that. That Widow Mine lifts up, repositions, and oh, those probes are stuck. The Stalkers blocked him in. GG. uThermal takes the 2-0.